Well, it's August. Try not to melt when you're out there, but we have things that we have to do to get growing. Okay, in August we're going to need to mow once a week, and remember we're probably up at our highest height on the mower. And remember, if you bag it, add it to the compost pile. Water your dry spots, annuals, and newly planted areas by hand, but let's use the sprinkler irrigation system everywhere else. Also, in August, make sure you keep your azaleas and other sensitive plants wet. Now also, we're going to want to prune any dead or diseased wood, hold off on any major pruning. We don't want to damage our trees or shrubs because they'll sun, burn, and scald. And then remember to stop pinching your mums because now we want blooms to start forming. Talking about mums, let's fertilize those every 2 weeks until we see blooms. Watch and treat for grub worms or chinch bugs if you find them. Grub worms are going to be eating on the root system of your grass, and you'll see yellow irregular spots in the lawn, and it's the same way with chinch bugs. Just treat if necessary. Also, you can plant for fall color zinnias and marigolds. And don't forget, in August, we want to feed the birds. We want them to be nice and healthy for our fall and winter. You know, we've talked about hanging baskets in the past or containers, and we always want to have a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. This periwinkle is going to act as our thriller and our filler, but as our spiller, we're going to add wandering Jew. And this is really easy. We're going to direct seed it or plant it into this container, and which is exactly what we did on this one, so that we're going to have our filler and our spiller. So it'll also round this basket out. And on wandering Jew, you're going to have leaf nodes. And you can see it's where the leaf comes off, and right here is the little node. And when I pull this leaf off, you can see it's right here. So I need a leaf node to make a cutting. So I'm going to break it right above the leaf node. And then I'm going to just take, in this case, a Sharpie, and I'm going to make a hole. And then I'm going to stick the Jew cutting in, poke it down, firm it up. I do want to point out that you need to have the leaves facing outward and not inward. So I'm going to replant it back in the same hole and kind of drape it over. And then I'll go to the next one, break it off, and we're going to follow around the edge. I'm going to put one right behind these so that I have a nice full container. And you can see that it's already starting to kind of fill out. Now, with wandering Jew, we can continue around the edge of the pot like this, which is going to give us a real uniform drape, or we can always just, as we have on these previous ones, we're going to break it right off at the edge of the pot, and then we can just take this over to the container and actually lay it on the soil, sprinkle a little bit of soil on top. It'll grow just like that. And it'll branch at each leaf node and come out. This, where we put the tip cuttings in, will be fuller faster, and this one will be just as full, just a little bit slower. One time a young lady was speaking to me about wandering Jew in her yard and how she just really didn't make her happy around a bird bath. So she was just walking all over it, breaking it up so it'd die. And I said, darling, I'm sorry, but I believe you're spreading it, because Jew is so aggressive that it will take off and grow when it's broken up on the ground, if you walk on it, etc. Now, I wouldn't put it in a walkway, but in your beds, if you happen to step on it, there's no problem. You're just making more cuttings. We're going to break off one more. We have our leaf node. We're just going to take, this is a really nice cutting. Once again, make our hole, stick our cutting, firm the soil. And then the other thing that I've done is I've evened out this little basket so that it's more uniform, and it'll drape and become a nice, beautiful hanging basket. So we have made a much fuller periwinkle basket, giving us our thriller, our filler, and our spiller.